Hello and welcome to the 100 Podcast. It's Charlie here. Hope you're keeping well. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Will Smeed from Birmingham Phoenix. Will, how you doing?
I'm all good, thank you. I'm excited to be on here with you.
Me too, it's a pleasure. So when did you join up with the squad then? Was it Monday, I think?
We all came up on Tuesday and sort of got to meet everyone, had a training session, and then, just been building towards the competition from then, really.
Awesome. How's it been then? Obviously, you got some huge names up there with you. What's that been like training with those guys and getting stuck in?
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's been awesome watching everyone go about their training and just watching how these guys train. And, I'm sort of trying to learn everything I can. Mo and Liam have just got here, so it'll be really interesting to watch them today. But yeah, I'm just loving it at the moment and trying to soak it all in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Obviously, Imran to here as well, Adam Mill, some quality players. Yeah. It must be so exciting for you.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy how quickly things change in cricket. The start of the season was going horribly for me, but sort of turned it around a little bit and started getting a bit better. So yeah, hopefully it can carry on improving. And yeah, I'll just try and learn and develop as much as I can whilst I have this opportunity here.
Awesome. Let's rewind a little bit then to when you got picked up in I think it was a little replacements round if you guys dropped out and you got called up. What was that like for you? Were you expecting the call? Was it a total surprise for you?
It was a massive shock. I was lying in bed and got a call from my agent about 8 a.m. So yeah, the first thing I did was went downstairs and my mum was there and I told her and she didn't believe me. So yeah, it was a big shock.
I'm not surprised. Well, thoroughly deserved, by the way. Congratulations. It's a very exciting time for cricket in general and looking forward to see you play. There's some familiar faces in the squad for you as well. Obviously, Tom Abel, your Somerset teammate. Do you reckon that's, helpful for you just to, have some familiarity in this very new situation?
Yeah, it's always nice to have a familiar face around, but all the guys have been so nice and welcoming and I've got on really well with all of them. So I think, yeah, it's nice having him here, but it's also about getting to know other people as well. So I'm trying to sort of dive into that side of things as well.
Awesome. Well, when it comes to familiar faces, for once you'll be playing against a lot of them rather than playing with them. Obviously, Lewis Gregory at Trent Rockets, Tom Banton at Welsh Fire, Tom Lammonbit, Manchester Originals, but a few. Are you looking forward to try and get some bragging rights over your teammates?
Yeah, I'll try my best. Obviously, I want those guys to do well because they're my teammates, but yeah, hopefully this is a good chance to get one up over on them.
Yeah, I'm going to say, of course you want them to do well, but equally, if you're facing Lewis Gregory, you want to take him for 30 or 5 balls, surely.
Yeah, 100%. As I said, you want to get one up on them and yeah, it'll be something to talk to them about in the changing rooms for a few months to come, but yeah.
Of course. Now, obviously, Somerset teammates aside, there's a lot of quality bowlers in this competition. We're talking Lungi and Geedy. Tabraiz Shamsi just been pulled in for Oval Invincibles, replacing Sandeep Lamachane, Lockie Ferguson, to name but a few. Is there anyone you're really looking forward to trying and smashing around, facing up to?
I don't think I can single anyone out. There are so many quality seamers and spinners. It's just going to be a big step up from the counter stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge and seeing how I go against it. But yeah, it's crazy the sort of talent and ability throughout the competition. So it should be a really high standard.
Yeah, it should be. It's really exciting. I don't know if you watched the first game last night, Oval Invincibles versus Manchester Originals. I was there and it was really exciting to watch, actually.
We were watching in our team room. It was a great game, actually. It was a good game to start the competition with and hopefully sort of build more interest towards it as well.
Of course, and we saw some brand new tactics and, the format's pretty new. We don't really know how it's going to play out entirely yet. But I think yesterday gave us a pretty good insight into that. I'm really curious to know, in terms of your game, how you're approaching the different rules here and different tactics. So, for example, there's a big chance you could be facing up against, say, Rashid Khan, for example, and he's bowling 10 balls at you, or even tomorrow against London Spirit, if Mohammed Amir is bowling 10 at you. How are you going to approach that one?
I'm not too sure, really. It's going to be a big challenge. But we had a practice game yesterday and I didn't get to face Rashid Khan, unfortunately. But yeah, I think it's a whole new tournament, it's a whole new format. There's going to be some time people trying to figure out how best to go about it. But I think as the tournament goes on, we'll see clearer tactics and game plans develop. So that would be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of trial and error. I read an interview, though, in Morgan this morning, actually, and he reckons we're going to see batters turning down singles a lot more if they've got a decent matchup with a bowler to try and maximise how many balls they can smash out of the ground for 6, rather than taking a single and, losing that matchup. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. There's going to be a few funky ideas, I'm sure, out there, and people will try lots of different things and will soon learn what works best and what doesn't. But yeah, I think there'll be a lot of new innovative ideas flying around.
Yeah, I'm really curious because obviously it's a pretty much unknown quantity, but like, are you really strategizing in this stuff, or are you just almost like winging it, for want of a better word? Are you just like, seeing what happens and kind of working out on the fly?
Yeah, I think the first few games is going to be a lot of trial and error, but hopefully as we get more familiar with the format, it'll sort of become clearer how you need to go about it. Our practice game yesterday was interesting. I think the batters forgot that 100 balls is actually longer than you think. We all got out pretty quickly, but yeah, it should be exciting.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because we've spoken to a couple of players actually, and they've all told us the exact same thing, which is that when you're actually out there playing these practice games, it doesn't feel that different, which is interesting to me, because I'm obviously someone who's not involved in it. I guess maybe it's, interesting to know that the actual, cricket element here is not that different.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's a game of bat and ball, isn't it? It's only 20 balls less than T20, which I think 100 balls sort of sounds like a really short amount of time. You have to go and whack everything, but there will be some sensible cricket within that, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk about your game for a bit though, Will, because we spoke to Dan Weston, your analyst at Birmingham Phoenix, and I think he was a big part of bringing you into the squad. And what I find really interesting, just to look at some numbers briefly, is that your boundary hitting numbers are really high. You're like a really explosive hitter, and like on paper, your game is really well suited to this competition. So I think it's going to be really exciting to see you get stuck in.
It's funny you say that, because a big part of my game that I've identified that I need to work on is scoring more singles and facing less stop balls. But yeah, hopefully I can carry on hitting lots of boundaries, and that is, I guess, what our team looks for. We've got a lot of boundary hitters in our team. So yeah, it should be interesting. Hopefully I can carry on doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. But to be fair, you say, you're wanting to work on non-boundaries and scoring off them. But I watched you play against Gloucestershire the other day, and I was really impressed with how you kind of dug in and grafted that innings out, because that pitch looked like it was really slow. It wasn't giving you anything. But I think often in short formats of game, you look at an innings like 30 or 30, whatever it was you scored, and you might not think it's that, that great. But I think in the context of the game, I was really impressed with how you dug in there and grafted that one out.
Thank you. I think Lammers came in and made it look a lot easier than all the other batters did.
Yeah, fair point. I think he does kind of he does kind of ruin my point a little bit there. Actually, that was a great thought, to be fair. But no, I do think that is a useful skill to have, and I think, especially in a 100-ball game where with the team you've got, with guys like, I don't know, Finn Allen, Moeen, Livy, all opening up or coming in at 3 or whatever, I think having someone who can maybe, steady ship a little bit might be useful. I guess we don't know. This is the thing. Like, we don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, our ideal situation would be those 3 just go out and whack it for 100 balls. But yeah, I'm sure that won't happen every game.
I think the idea, like what you want to aim for, I assume you saw the graphics and stuff yesterday on the screen. What you want to aim for is get, like the vertical holes at the side that go up, the more runs you score.
Yeah.
You want to try and get that off the screen. Score so many runs, it goes off the top of the screen. That's like where you've got to be aiming for.
That would be, it's what the crowd wants to see, isn't it?
Absolutely. Who cares about the bowlers? Just like dig in 6, 6, 6 every time.
That's in the game.
Absolutely. Okay, well, lastly then, well, the 100, as we said, it's like a really exciting opportunity for pretty much everyone involved with it. But I think for me, what's going to be really exciting is seeing some young domestic talent like yourself coming in at this higher level of cricket and testing themselves out and really making a case of themselves, potentially breaking through. Do you think this is going to be a really big chance for you to show the nation and the world, I guess, what you can do as a cricketer?
Hopefully I get a go. We've obviously got a really strong team, so I may be sort of not starting, but I'm going to use the opportunity to, we've got some great coaches, work with them, talk to as many of the players with a lot of experience as I can, and just it's a great opportunity to improve my game. And whether I play or not, I think I'm going to make sure that I come out of the end of the tournament and I've improved. I think that's the main goal for me. And then if I get a chance, even better, and hopefully that goes well. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, if I'm picking a team, you're getting a shot. I think that's fair to say. No bias intended. No bias intended. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure, and go on the tournament. I hope you do really well. All the best, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Podcast100. We've got loads of clips there, loads of different stuff going on, so make sure to follow us there. And please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. We'd love to know what you think, and it would really help us out. So thank you very much for listening to the 100 podcast, and we'll speak to you next time.